Hi guys, Layla here, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a challenge of sorts. I haven't seen anyone else kind of do it, so I believe I'm the first to kind of do it. But basically, I'm going to be using one Crayola crayon in one color, and I'm going to try to use it up entirely to create an art piece. And so I've got a extra long piece of just computer paper. There's nothing really special about it. It's just longer than usual. And I'm not going to be using any other sort of art supply other than this crayon. So I have a bit of an idea in my head of what I want to do. So I'm starting as light as possible since these are just like guidelines. And I'm kind of using this extra large canvas because I figure if I'm going to use the entire crayon, it should probably have a lot of space. Because I'm unsure of how fast I'll go through this, but I feel like it's going to last a while as far as the crayon goes. I'm not focusing on one area for too long, only because I've only got so much sharpness when it comes to the point. Otherwise, I won't be able to get in these finer details if I use it in one area too much and then dull down the point. So I'm kind of doing like a portrait of this elf girl, kind of looking over her shoulder. Maybe I'll do another shoulder over here so that we can see she's turning her head towards us while her back is facing us. Get some eyebrows in, and I think I'm going to have her hair gathered in a ponytail. I don't know. I was thinking a bun, but I feel like I do buns a lot. Yeah, I'm going to do a ponytail. Just kind of flowing off to the side over here. The hair's a little ridiculous, but it's all right. It'll work out in the end. I'm trying to think of a good background. So far, I'm going to have this branch coming out over here on this side of her. And then I'll probably do another one coming this way. Or maybe I'll just have it coming this way to kind of keep directional flow happening from my right-hand corner down to my left-hand bottom corner. And maybe sprouting some leaves. And then adding those same kind of leaves over here on this side just to give some balance. And then maybe I'll add some clothing to her. Something with fabric sort of scrunched up and maybe being held by a medallion right here. And kind of repeating that same design on the other side. And maybe a headpiece. Just going for that full fantasy kind of effect. What's an elf without a little bit of a tiara? Right. So now I'm going to start some sort of shading and hopefully just try and bring this sketch so far to life. The crayon is starting to dull on me and it's so annoying. This is the only thing I really see being kind of an issue. Although I think I have a crayon sharpener. I think I do. Actually, I think I'm going to use that crayon sharpener. Makes sense. All right, so the box of crayons that I bought does have a sharpener on it. So I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this color. And I don't think that having the tip sharpened is gonna make or break this challenge. But for me in particular, it does help when I need to just darken certain areas and just darken little areas. I'm also really happy with this color I went with. I didn't think it would come out looking so good. The only super annoying thing that I'm having to deal with every few minutes are these little specks that keep falling off of the crayon. So I gotta constantly be blowing on the paper or wiping it away. But yeah, I try not to wipe it away because then I get these smears all over the place. So I don't like that. But then I kind of have no choice but to wipe it because blowing on the paper doesn't really do a whole bunch since the wax of the crayon sort of sticks to the paper. So, okay. Oh no. So I went to sharpen it and I broke it. Sweet. Seriously? Oh man. Okay. Well, the only solution is to make 2 sharpened points at this point. Okay, so I'm going to put that one right there and start sharpening this one. So it's definitely become harder because it's never fun to draw with such a small art supply. But I'm not a quitter. I do feel like one of the positive things about this challenge is it will definitely test your abilities of knowing and understanding shading and value, which is definitely one thing I struggle with as an artist. When I was taking classes in high school, we had to do this project of a still life, and every time I thought I was done, the teacher would be like, nope, keep adding some, shading, keep building it up, keep adding value. And I was like, how? I will say that teacher was definitely quite challenging, but I'm glad for it because usually it's the really tough teachers that make you grow and learn and just get better. I also feel like this sort of a challenge is very similar to the cheap art supply challenge, which is basically just making an art piece using the cheapest art supplies you can find. And I did that challenge quite a bit ago on this channel, like probably, I want to say a year ago, maybe? And I just used, I think, like Crayola color pencils and crayons, a Sharpie in order to ink my sketch and stuff. And funny enough, I had someone comment saying, you know, Sharpies aren't cheap, to which I will say they're not wrong. They're not exactly the cheapest thing out there, but I couldn't really find much else to ink my art piece with. But with this challenge, I'm literally just using one crayon and computer paper. And granted, I bought like a 64 pack of crayons, which I didn't really have to because there was a 10 pack for literally less than $1. And then the computer paper I had just hanging around in my house. But yeah, I definitely feel this is the cheapest art supply challenge I've done. Even though it's not an art supply challenge, but you get my drift. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting super, super dark because first of all, I've got like hardly anything left here on my crayon. Not that that's, it. I do still have the other side that broke off that I've already sharpened, but between that and the fact that when you press really hard, all you get is a lot of wax coming off. But I'm really trying to darken up these lashes as much as I can, just to really sort of make her eyes pop, and mostly to avoid some areas from like blending completely in with the background and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. But the wax is really strong, and this is so hard to use because my fingers can like barely hold on to it. Okay, so that basically almost completes my picture except for this hair right here that I totally forgot to color in. How I missed it, I'm not entirely too sure. Let me just fill this in with the last bit of crayon that I have on this side. Okay, so since I have this much crayon left, I am thinking about coloring in the background really, really strongly in order to make the background just solid pink or red. It's like a pinkish red. So let's see if this works. I hope it does, because it would be a huge bummer if it didn't. But I have so much crayon still left and that I don't know what to do with. And I'm really just killing the paper. So maybe a little bit more gentle. But yeah, I've just got a lot of crayon left and I really want to use it up completely. All right, I'm gonna have to call this side of the crayon just done because I'm not, I can't. Between brutalizing the paper in this corner and the fact that like I'm like physically hurting my fingertips just trying to use this little nub. It's just not working. So I'm going to use the other half of the crayon from when it broke and continue on. Well, I'm definitely getting hand cramps because I have to press so hard. Otherwise, it just wouldn't look good. She'd blend into the background and that would be that. And it sucks because like the background isn't coming out all that great either because of all the wax in the crayon. So a part of me is telling me maybe I should stop while I'm still ahead, But where's the fun in that? Whoops. Oh. I'm like not gonna have a nice piece at the end of this because I keep going like a little crazy like this, and then I accidentally go off the edge and it all crinkles up the paper. Oh gosh, okay. I'm so close to being finished. I've just got this and not much crayon left. So close to being done. Yes. Just this section and a little bit more. Okay. So trying to just get little areas that still have a bit of white in the background. But overall, I think it's done. So I still have this itty bitty piece and my previous piece. So did I use the crayon completely from beginning to end? Oops. Technically not. But I got pretty darn close. I really don't know what I would do with these pieces. At the moment, I'm just kind of taking them and filling in any little gaps and stuff. But other than that, I'm calling it done. There's not much I could do. I could color the character in even darker, but then, like I've said before, she just blend into the background, so there's no point in that. The background, though, as far as the coloring in, really does take away from my overall piece, I feel. And I mean, there's just nothing I can do about this wax. I mean, that's what makes it look a little weird. I mean, I could get adventurous and start peeling the wax away like that, but then the background would just start looking lighter, and that defeats the purpose of having a super dark background. So I won't be doing that. But I think the character I drew is super cute. I love her eyes. I love her face and her elf ears and her flowy hair that's all tangled up in the branches. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.